morning, and we have a lovely bit of sunshine coming into the car. It's nice and warm. We've just packed up our Fishery Bay site. Not in record time, but we were very thorough this time, weren't we, Jackie? We keep forgetting to do one or two things.
It's not a race.
So we just started at the back and worked our way to the front, and everything seems to be secure. So we've decided we're going from here, Fishery Bay, up to Waterloo Bay. We've done the bays, we've done Streaky Bay, we've done Fishery Bay, and now we're going to Waterloo Bay and the small town of Elliston.
Is that Sleaford Bay to your right there?
That's
part of the big Sleaford Bay, or am I?
No, this is part of the bays that go back into Boston Bay, Port Lincoln. That's the Lincoln National Park on the other side of that water.
Yeah.
Sleaford Bay is behind us.
Got some bikes coming up on the road.
So we're going back. We have to sort of backtrack almost into Port Lincoln.
Yeah.
And then we do a lefty up the Lincoln Highway, and we should be in Elliston about lunchtime. Hopefully they got oysters. What do you reckon, Jackie?
Yeah.
An oyster lunch?
Yeah.
Yes. We didn't get any surf at Fishery Bay. I did have a swim.
Yeah.
Geez, that was cold.
You did.
We walked out to the left point and the right point. We met a couple of lovely chaps who
that was really cool.
gave us a couple of rather large abalone shells. They were abalone fishermen.
Yeah.
And they were just chatting to them generally about what they do, their work. And the young Decky came back with these two huge shells.
Yeah. Oh, there's a whole bunch of bikes.
Must be a bike ride thing going on.
Beep, beep.
That's alright.
As a bike rider,
Bike rider?
you have total respect for the bike riders?
I do.
Yes.
I just think they're exceptionally vulnerable.
Yeah.
As long as they wear bright colours and keep left, I'm happy to have bike riders on the road.
Practical.
Practicable.
Practical.
No, it's practicable. It's written in the traffic code.
No, practical is the word.
Practicable.
Practical.
Unless overtaking or turning right.
What happened to the word as long as it's practical?
Practicable. I don't know.
Oh, that reminds me.
I didn't invent English.
That reminds me.
Are you what?
Yes, I'm filming this.
What is?
We played the game of Scrabble the other day.
Oh yes, words.
Shall I keep recording this?
Yeah. Words. What words did we come up with? I wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure Fletcher is a word. A Fletcher, I think, makes arrows.
Did it have a capital F? Because then it's not allowed.
Oh,
is it a proper noun?
No, it's like a barber or a butcher or a candlestick maker.
Fletcher.
Anyway, I wanted to use the word fletch.
You can't. What's that? Well, to make shorter arrows.
To fletch is...
To fletch. Fletch, Rover. Fletch.
Anyway,
oh no, it's not fletch.
Anyway, let's go to this space. So, what were your two words?
Yo.
And?
Yay.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Yo
Oi.
and oh.
Oi. O-Y.
O-Y.
That's an Australian word. Oi, you. Yo mama.
Anyway.
Your hair is red. We're on our way to a monument of Leo Cummings, who drowned while their prey boat was sinking here, somewhere between Coffin Bay and Elliston. Happened in 1959. And here it is, to the memory of Leo Cummings, who lost his life in this locality in the wreck of the Whangaree, 29th of June 1959. He was only a young fella, 23 years and 9 months old. And let's have a look at what he was up against when we get to the cliff top. It is absolutely stunning. Yes. Ah, I've been here before. I have. Let's see there, there's an eagle just on that rock. On that rock. Isn't that amazing? So we're about 100 metres from the house now, and we're looking for something, but we think we found the outhouse. It's quite a solid structure. And it's a long way from anywhere. Is it? Right, let's go.
The clue is don't fall.
Yeah, it's the outhouse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cache. Probably, I'd say, in there.
Somewhere
it's
in here.
small in here.
We're in Elliston.
Little bay trail.
We're going to take a short walk. We're here at the end. If we have a bit of a scan around, There's the town in the distance. It's only like 200 metres away, but this is the Waterloo Bay, which is quite a protected bay really. And there's the other side of the bay there, and there's another. They'll have sculptures there, don't they? And there's a little bit of swell. It's not huge, but we are here where it's on this red dot. And we're going to walk to Wellington Point, which is just over there. And then we're going to follow this road down here to Little Bay and a surf break and a memorial to something that happened here a long time ago. We've got some really nice weather. We've managed to get past the rain, didn't we, Jackie? And here we are. Wow, this is stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
A beautiful place. We've got ourselves a Pacific gull here. Off it goes. There it goes, flying away. I think that would hurt landing down there.
Right?
I think that would hurt.
Yeah.
The rocks are very sharp. You might be able to see that disturbance in the water. It's a school of fish, and we've noticed a seal swimming around, coming up occasionally and looking for something to eat, I would imagine. It's just sort of hanging around here in a confused state, I would expect, with the seal sitting there, fearing for their lives, I would think. That seal's gone now. Oh, there he is. Yeah, it just popped up. Right in the middle of it he is, having a ball. In 1849, it was called the Massacre of Waterloo Bay, when a number of Aboriginal people were killed near this site in May 1849 by a party of settlers. This area is significant in the history of frontier conflict between traditional owners and settlers. I have heard about this, but there's not a lot of information I've found on it. But it's in a beautiful place. As we walk down to the cliff, I'm not sure if this is where it happened. But the story goes that they forced the Aboriginal people off the cliff into the water. Which is a pretty sad thing to do, pretty gruesome thing to do. Sure, there's they meet here occasionally, perhaps. Can we not Little Bay surf break? Here we are at the Port Elliston Cemetery. Settlers lived in this district from the 1840s. Well, there wasn't a doctor here till 1888. This cemetery operated from 1880 to around 1912. Lots of people died in infancy. Convulsions caused by teething or infectious diseases that are now treatable, such as diphtheria and whooping cough. The good doctor you can see in that picture, Abraham Carter, operated a private hospital in Elliston from around 1896 until his death in 1905, aged 83. And here is the grave of one Dr. Carter, who died in 1905, aged 83 years. So that was probably a long life for a person in those days. It's got quite an impressive looking grave here. And there's other similar sort of headstones, must have been fairly common. Or there's the cross, or these sort of shapes. But there's a few. A bit patchy, you don't know. See, here's a, I'm assuming this is a grave because it's got sort of rocks around it, so I don't know where there's a path where we should be walking. We're here at the legendary surf spot known as Blacks. On a map it was written down as Blackfellows, 2 words. I'm not sure if that's correct. And this is a table dedicated to Jevon Wright, who got taken by a shark here on the 25th of the 9th, 2000. Poor young kid. So beautiful piece of mosaic work. I don't know if you can get to see it all gone away. Yes, apparently he was just reached the cliff ready to climb up, and that was it. The search is the driving force for any restless souls who dream. Perfect waves hitting an uncharted reef. That's one of the comments. Just going to walk down to the edge here. As you can see, it's well-worn tracks around here by those who want to test themselves in the waters off Elliston. Where are we, Sandy?
We're on the historic Elliston Jetty.
It doesn't look very historic, it looks about 25 years old.
It's remnants of it.
Yeah, it's even got solar lighting, so I don't know if they had it way back then, but this was important jetty, wasn't it? Because when Elliston was founded, there were no roads here and everything came by ship. There's a little story back there on the board about how one ship, the residents were waiting for much needed supplies only to see the ship turn around and head back home because they couldn't get through the passage in Waterloo Bay. It's only a narrow channel to get through. There's a heroic young person out in a boat, freezing his little noodle off. Oh yeah? Oh, how's that overhang? That's amazing.
We're going to check out Walkers
Rocks.
campground. Yeah, well, you know what I was going to say, don't you?
Yeah, Walkers flat.
Up on the Murray.
That's a long way away.
Walkers
Rocks.
It's only 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
We're just going to check for shelter
suitable
wind.
for camping near the water's edge, because it can get windy along the west coast.
But
Quiet, please.
there's some lovely weather coming up.
There is mid-20s they're talking about.
And we have blue
Back
skies.
with the shorts, and apparently we can get a fish there if we're so inclined. So our record is 1 Tommy Rough and 3 ton of seaweed.
Yeah.
But now we're just going to have a look, and we can book the site through eyrepenninsula.com.au or something like that.
These are, and they've got flushing toilets.
Yes.
Not that I'm particularly fussed, but
no powered site, it's just sort of Eyre Peninsula. All the councils seem to have clubbed together and set up some cheap alternative campsites to caravan parks in some good places, some maybe not so good, depending on what your definition of good is for camping.
Were they always there and they've just sort of been formalised?
Yeah, I think so. People went there anyway and now thought we can make money out of this. All they've got to do is put in a decent drop dunny and maybe come back once a week to sort it out.
Yeah, and actually clean it and replace the paper.
But anyway, that's it. We're on our way to Walkers Rocks, and we're up early at 9:51. We're out the house.
Oh my god, yes.
This is apparently the longest beach on the Eyre Peninsula. And this is where I'm going to catch a salmon. And you're going to catch whiting. Apparently.
Not a wave by the look of it.
I think round the corner.
Okay.
That could be Walker's Rock there in the water, do you think?
We might have to go for a park.
And look, we can drive on the beach, but I don't like driving on the beach too much. I think it's not right, and hooded plover's nest here. And I'd rather just come here for the joy of being on the beach without having to dig the car out. Fun thing. Right, we've decided we want to keep our footprint as small as possible, and we want to protect the hooded plovers as well. These two Pacific gulls have let us come almost on top of them. Oh, he's only got 1 foot. He's hopping mad because he lost the other one. Footloose. He's got the leg, but he hasn't got the foot attached. He'll still fly, alright. So that's, as we pan around the bay, that's a better look at Walker's Rock, I'm assuming, because I can't see the other rock right there. There's the island across from Blackfellas surf spot way over there, so that's where we were the other day. That's Anxious Bay just in there. Yeah, not the one, what do you, Anxiety Bay.
It's the word of the 2020s.
Anxiety Bay. What's the other one?
I don't know.
We'll think of it. So here we are in the van at Walker's Rocks. This is sort of our view, looking over the bay towards the toilets. But we're up on a bit of a hill. There's a few people came in today just through the fly screen, and it's not a bad place at all. We just had a completely unsuccessful fishing adventure down on the beach, did we not?
Yes.
Lost 2 lures.
Yes.
And our sense of purpose. So we're not going fishing until tomorrow. We're going to have another crack. Got to set up some rigs.
Not going to be the only people that come to the West Coast never to catch
a
fish.
Yes, there's others who have done the same as us. But look, we go on, we try, and we do our best. And look, fish live another day.
Yep. Oh. Oh, look at that.
Hello.
Oh.
Jackie and I are sitting here on the beach at Walkers Rock. Although we're over a little, there's another one here, and we're actually on I believe this is called Pablo's Beach. And as you can see out the point there's a bit of activity. At about 10 o'clock this morning, a guy surfing out on just off the end of those rocks there. There's a right-hander and a bit of a left, and he got taken by a shark. And there's been a fair bit of activity ever since, of course. Boats have been here looking for whatever may be left of him. And it's sort of put a bit of a damper on our stay here, but I guess surfers know the risk when they go out there, and it just seems such a beautiful day to have such a tragic thing happen. Plenty of news people here. ABC have come all the way up from Port Lincoln as quickly as they could. SES are here, police were here, I don't know if they still are. Ambulance, and even the CFS turned up. But unfortunate for the guy. I believe they say he was a local, lived around here somewhere. So Vale, surfer. Now Jackie, yesterday we went for a bit of a walk along the beach late in the afternoon. It was actually a bit of a sad day here because we're at Walker Rocks, and a guy got taken by a shark surfing just over the sandhills from us at a place called Pablo's Beach. They're still out there today, seeing if they can find any trace of him. But one of the SES guys pointed us to something quite interesting, and we went looking for these in Elliston. Couldn't find them.
I think we recorded us trying to find them too.
But what have we got?
Well, I'll go through the different stages.
Yes.
You're probably looking for something like this first initially, and the giveaway is the cylindrical look, and then the little hole there, and then you could, that's a bigger version of it. But what happens is that over time, because the pupa was in there, it's hollow, you get something like that. But if you get a good one, you get something like that, and that's why they're called clogs.
Yes, many little clogs. And they're in abundance around the Elliston area.
This one's probably more open, and then of course this one's half of it.
Yeah.
So
what creates this?
It's a weevil.
A weevil.
A weevil. It's a weevil cocoon. I'm reading notes now.
Okay, that's okay.
That was provided at the Elliston Information Centre. And they're believed to be about 100,000 years old, and they're caused by calcification.
The weevils, what do they do? They mate in the tree. Is that right?
I didn't read that much.
Didn't you? Oh, no, I believe the male and the female get together up in the tree, and the eggs drop to the ground,
Yeah, that's right.
And then they burrow
That's right.
underground.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
the little caterpillar lives off the
Roots and underground stems.
Yes.
I've caught up with you now.
And then they build one of these cocoons.
Yeah.
But over thousands of years, they've calcified.
It says, however, instead of spinning a cocoon, the larva makes a cell in the earth by tamping the soil around it. And that's why you get this.
Yeah. So they're mining weevils.
And it forms a hard wall, perhaps exuding a secretion which makes the soil or sand set like concrete. So basically creating a mould almost, aren't they?
Yes, a concrete tomb, one might think. But they get out because they get out and become weevils.
Yeah, the larva enters the pupal stage, which lasts some months. The new adult then pushes its way through the cell wall, and that's probably the little...
the hole there?
The little hole there.
Or is it the big hole that we end up with?
Well, maybe this one's a little one.
Yes, that's unusual.
But this was...
A lot of them look like that. That's why they call them pixie clogs.
The empty pupal cases remain below ground. Rainwater leaches minerals from the soil above and deposits them around any suitable nucleus, including the empty pupal cases of the beetles. Over a long period of time, the coating around the pupal cases become hard and mineralised, eventually exposed by natural erosion or disturbance of the soil. The rock-hard pupal cases are found.
There you go. So that's a little bit of science.
Yeah, and it's like, really, they are like little clogs, pixie clogs.
But there's an old bus parked up there. I don't know whether it's going or not. Could be the Talia Cave Surf Club's club rooms. But it's absolutely magnificent. What do you think, Jackie?
Wow.
Wow, that's a wow moment. We're having a wow moment on our holiday.
Stunning.
Stunning wow.
Yeah.
That's one step up from just wow. So who's this? Sister D.B. Miller, who was accidentally drowned at this spot on the 24th of June 1928. Erected by public subscription. Well, I'll tell you what, if you have a look here, down here, you can see why it'd be virtually impossible to save anybody. Yeah, we've got some sort of good sized swell if we look at it. This is what happens. So I'd say that wave's about 6 foot. So a couple of metres high, and it just pushes the water along the ledge, like that, all the way along. It's right out. And it's like that for a good 300 or 400 metres. It starts way up there on some waves. Some of the water gets pushed back out to sea. We're at a place called The Tub. Obvious reasons. It's just a big hole. It's supposed to be a tunnel that goes through to the sea. There's water in here, so the sea must get in. It just gets bigger and bigger, I suspect. Welcome to Woolshed Cave. You can fish here and take photos, and you can walk up the steps. I'm not sure if you can walk down them. You can park here, you can't camp here, you can't throw rubbish, you can't swim, and you can't have a dog. Oh, it can, allowed on a lead. Beware of natural risks.
Disclaimer.
Mother Nature. And here's a big rock. I don't know what it's for. Maybe they just couldn't move it, so they've left it here.
privacy screen.
No plaque. And here's the steps. We're going down to the cave. Down. We're following Miss Jackie. He's going. He's a tour guide. Very. This like I can make a Star Trek episode here, Jack. Where Captain Kirk suddenly just appears and a monster comes out and fights him. It's swimmable. And there we have the cave.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is our fire pit, but we've had, over the last few nights when we've had fires, we've noticed that there's some resident mice around here, and there is up around Streaky Bay a bit of a mouse problem at the moment. So what we decided to do was, we've left food away from our campsite that they can go and forage for, to try and discourage them from coming towards our little home, which has worked successfully so far. But then Jackie decided they needed something more inviting. So what we've got now is the Walkers Rock takeaway, which is a tissue box that has been opened up and made to look like a little shop with a fancy little entrance. So last night we set up the trail camera. afternoon actually, it's 12:30.
Oh, the morning went quick, eh?
Yeah, we were at Walkers Rock, but we got a little bit of communication from the council today because of what happened on the weekend. They want to shut down the camping area.
Specifically the beach there.
The beach, mainly the beach area, because it's a beautiful little beach to sit on. But I guess they're worried that people might find something a bit unsavoury, or you know.
We know.
Anyway, so we packed up. The council person came around. They're very nice, and we understand their reasoning. So we packed up remarkably quickly, considering we weren't going till tomorrow. And we're on our way to Wudinna. We're going to spend a couple of days in Wudinna at least. A bit of R&R, showers, shake the dust off, and we're heading up towards the Gawler Ranges and some of the local stuff at Wudinna. See what it's all about. It's usually just a town we either drive through or stop to buy fuel. So this will give us a chance to have a look at a part of the world that we go through often but never really explore.
Question without notice.
A question without notice.
The minimum temperature forecast for this week.
Oh yes, it's going to be quite cold in the night. It's going down to, one night it's predicted to go down to 0. So
do we have heating?
We don't have heating, no.
Are we allowed to light a campfire?
Thick socks.
Are we allowed to light campfires in the showground?
I'm not sure. We're about to find out now. But if not, thick socks, a beanie, an extra layer of clothes. I got some layers.
And that sexy hoodie I have.
And no. Only in private. Anyway, we'll show you a bit of Wudinna when we get there.